Hi guys, today I want to do something a little bit different. I've been feeling like there are so many things I'm learning and I'm reading, and I want to admit here that I'm not the ultimate resource when it comes to everything mental health and wellness. Like, there are so many other people who are doing a lot of work on mental health, and it just gave me the idea, why don't I just go through a book every month and come here and review the book for you and give you guys kind of like what I learned from the book and share with you. So I'm going to be having a book review every single month. I'll be picking a book and sharing it with you guys, and hopefully it's going to help me, first of all, read more books and also share with you guys what I'm learning. Yeah. And so don't worry, it's not going to be spoilers. I'll just be picking small things but keeping them a bit vague so that you can still get the chance to pick up the book and read it. So the first book that I'll be doing is this amazing book by Sheryl Sandberg. It's called Lean In. I'll be doing the extended version for graduates. So yeah, the gems that this woman drops. So if you guys don't know Sheryl Sandberg, she's just go and research, because she's an amazing woman. She's worked for really big organizations, and when she's coming here to talk to us and write a whole book, I mean, so the book is mostly on career, and this was very important to me because I feel like so many people are going through a lot of transitions during this time. People are losing their jobs, people are being transferred, jobs are being restructured. There is so much uncertainty during this time of the pandemic, and so many people are in that place where they don't know what next. Please pick up this book if that's where you are. Organizations are so complex, and a book like this is just amazing. So the first thing that I learned from Cheryl is that she says that you may not love the job you have right now, but there is something you can learn from your current job. Drops mic. I think all of us have been in that situation where you're in a job you don't really love. You're in a job where you don't really love the job. You get to that point and you feel like, I need to move. But perhaps you need the job because of financial security or one reason or another. And it's not everybody who has the luxury of just quitting and starting a business, or quitting and finding another job immediately. So I understand you if you feel like you need to leave your job but that you can't leave right now. Like, I get it, I've been there. But her point is, there is something you can you can learn from where you are right now. There is something you can learn even from that boss who seems like they aren't really getting you, the boss you might not like, from the colleague you might not like. There is something you can learn. So differentiate the lesson from the job. Give yourself a timeline and say, fine, I'm trying to leave my job by 2020, the December, or I'm trying to leave by this time. So between now and December, instead of sitting down and resenting every single day that you are in that job, try and pick something you can learn between now and that time, right? And for me, that was an amazing lesson, and I hope you get the point. Yeah. So then we can move to the second point. So if you notice, I'm reading because I wrote down some notes, because I'm that chick who writes notes. So she describes a situation that honestly I've been in, and she said that there's a point where she was in a junior position and she would walk around asking, how can I help? Do you need my help? What can I do? And as you guessed, the answer would always be, no, we're fine, we're good, we got this. And the point she makes is that stop asking for what you can do and start doing small things that you think might be helpful. So just think and troubleshoot and start fixing small solutions. Start doing. And she said that once she started doing this, people started seeing her as capable and as valuable, especially her senior colleagues, and they started giving her bigger roles. Because it's not especially in some corporate organizations, opportunities don't land on everyone, they land on certain people, and you won't wait for the day where you'll be appointed to do a particular task. So why don't you just fix a small solution within the organization? Do something small, do something, start making yourself valuable. Don't wait for somebody to give you a task to show that you're valuable. I hope I'm making sense. That point honestly blew my mind. There's another point that she made, point number 3, and I think I'll just have to literally open the book because this one was intense. It's about believing in yourself even before people can see your worth. Believing in yourself. She says that it was a couple of months after she had made some certain achievements that include even writing Lean In, an entire book, and she was having a meeting to kick off a particular project with the senior Facebook team. And for several years, herself and her partner Jay had been pushing for this collaboration. They had been pushing, and if you've been pushing for an idea and sending proposals, I know it can take a long time. So these guys had pushed and pushed, and suddenly they got a meeting. And she started the meeting by telling everyone how grateful she was for their support and how worried she had been, that she was wrong for needing this initiative and the collaboration. So she was worried about whether the collaboration would work or it would eventually come to be. And she said that her partner Jay looked up, paused, and said, "I knew Cheryl and I were right, and you would all come around eventually." So you see how she was busy telling people she's so grateful that finally they're supporting her, and she's been worried for years that Kwani, would they ever really see how. But Jay looked at her and he was like, "What is this woman talking about?" And he said, "I always knew that Cheryl and I were right, and you would all come around eventually." I mean, his belief in himself was not shaken ever. Not in one moment was his belief in himself and his project shaken. And for me, I feel like this one hits me straight to my core, because there are sometimes you have such an amazing idea, and when you're pitching it, it's like you're begging people to come on board. What Cheryl is saying is, walk into that room knowing that your idea is bomb, knowing that fine, it might have some gaps. I'm not saying you be a narcissist. I'm not saying you walk in with the ego, like a big ego, but believe in yourself, believe in your project. Even as you speak, use words like, "I'm hoping that we will get to collaborate and you'll get to see the value in my brand." You know, like, use the language that you believe in yourself, because trust me, people can know when you don't believe in yourself. People can see it. So that really resonated with me, and I am just going to work on the language that I use when I'm pitching my ideas. Let's stop saying things like, "I really thank you for your help." So it's not really help, it's a partnership. Thank you for your partnership and for your collaboration. All right, that one blew my mind. So we can move to the next one. The next 2 points are about gender bias, and I don't want the men to exit the room because I've talked about gender. I want you to sit in the room and listen, because we need everybody to be on our team. So the first thing she says is that too many women sit on the side of the room when they should be sitting on the table. So you walk into a room, there's a meeting, and you just go somewhere onto the corner and you stand there and you just like watch what's going on. How about you just walk into the room and sit on the table? I'm not talking about you be cocky and you go and sit where the CEO normally sits. I'm just saying it's okay to be seen. Stop hiding. Stop hiding your voice. Stop standing in the sidelines. Yeah. And still on gender bias is the next point, where Cheryl says that you do not have to choose between work and having a family. You can have both. And let me tell you, as a doctor, it's such a real struggle. Like, even choosing what to specialize in, what opportunities to take, it always feels like, can I really have it both? Can I really have my career and my job? And what Cheryl says is, begin with the mindset of yes, I can, and then figure out how you can. Because if initially you've already told yourself, I can't be a surgeon, that's that. You've killed it. You've killed your dream. How about you pick yourself first, pick your dream, and then as you go along, you can decide, what kind of surgeon do I want to be to make it possible for me to be still present for my children and for my family. Don't kill your dreams because of family. All right? See how you can make it work. Find solutions for yourself and for your family. The second last point is about challenging yourself. And let me ask you, what would you do if you are not afraid? If you are not afraid of what people are thinking, what people will say. And you know what I realize? I realize sometimes we even worry about the people who don't like us. What will those guys say? What will my haters say? And the thing is, they're going to think what they want to think anyway. And that should never ever stop your dream. So many people have, okay, not so many people, but a few people have been trying to get some advice on how do I start a channel or a blog. And it's like, nowadays having a channel or a blog, people look at you in a certain way. And I'm like, listen, I agree with Cheryl, because either way, they'll still think what they think. Either way, whatever move you make, whether it's you start a channel or you start a business, they'll still think what they think. And it's not your responsibility to take care of what people's perception is of you. All right? Do that thing that scares you. Let me tell you, the gratification that comes with conquering your fears, there is nothing like it. Okay? And lastly, I just wanted to talk about something that she talks about in terms of creating change in the workplace. And this one, last year I went for a conference, the APA week. That's the Association of Advertisers, Professional Advertisers in Kenya. And they were talking about, somebody was talking about how they didn't have mental health services or mental health services in their workplace, yet there were so many people who are suffering and struggling in the workplace. And this guy walks up to his boss and he just says, by the way, a lot of people are struggling in the workplace and people would really like it if we had an in-house therapist. Guess what? Literally not too long after that, a few other people got on board and they rallied and they actually now have an in-house therapist. And I just want to challenge you. I've realized we have a culture, employees especially have a culture of complaining. We complain, we don't have a daycare for kids. We don't have a creche for kids. We don't have a lactating room. A lot of people still don't have paternity leave. We have maternity leave, but I feel like we could do better. There are countries out there in the West which are having longer periods of time for maternity leave. But you know what we do? Instead of just speaking up and rallying and creating change in the workplace, we sit around and we talk and we gossip and we go home and we do the same thing the next day and the next day and the next day. And you know what that is? That's insanity. Talk to your boss, walk up to your boss, create a proposal, do some research and create an argument for yourself. Why do you need this thing? Fine, your boss might say no today. You know what? Try again 6 months later. Try again 6 months later with a bigger group of people. That's how change comes about in the workplace. The first person who rallied for maternity leave, imagine if they gave up after they were told no, we would never have maternity leave. Yeah, you are the one to create change in your workplace. It starts with you. And so yeah, guys, I didn't want to give away the whole book. There are way more gems that I got from that book, and if I can just be honest with you, I'm still reading it. So let me know if you have read the book. If you intend to read the book, I would really love to hear from you. And let me know if you like this new segue that I've created on my channel. I'm super grateful for your support, your continued support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.